And I think all we want to do is trying to give theatre back to the crowd and to empower them so that they're the epicentre of their own adventure. Basically, we take over huge semi-derelict buildings and transform them with a cinematic level of detail into a sort of adult adventure playground. And there are multiple narratives scattered across them, and then the audience are free to choose which character, what space they follow, and every single audience member within that space has their own personal journey. And I think what audiences are craving is the chance to actually own an experience, have done something real that, firstly, that they did it with other humans, and then also that they did and they alone. And all these experiences about trying to remind people of what it's like to live in the moment. So when you do shows for kids, they don't have that valve, they haven't shut down yet, so they're wide and open and malleable and want to believe it. So they're the dream audience, really, because they just roll with it. And you've realised then there's a chance to sort of inspire and change, and you can physically see their eyes open and you can see the difference you're making. Something that we as a company are fascinated by, and this intersection of live and digital, and how the two can blur, and that sort of magic hour space between what you know to be fictional and part of a narrative and your everyday life, and not quite knowing where the overlap is. And so the ability now to place a single audience member, any single person, at the absolute heart of the story, in a building that we might build or just on the streets of London, is totally possible now. So it feels like I think we're on the cusp of a sort of new boom of storytelling when it starts knocking on our door and forcing its way into our homes in a not too scary way. There's nothing worse than having a great idea but then having a room full of execs who have an opinion, and it just becomes diluted until it's this insipid piss water. As a director, I think I'm more of an editor because it's about just having the ability to see what's working and commit to cutting. And if it does not working, you've got to change. And sometimes it's quite soul-destroying that you can spend a lot of time going one direction, but if it doesn't work, you have to let it go. Be mysterious. Like, don't tell your whole story immediately. Let them just, coax them, because the more invested they are and the more they travel, every step they travel towards you is worth 50 people who've just seen something. Make them work hard for their content.